Hmm. How to overthrow y'all's stupid ass government. um, because it doesn't, no, fuck y'all. I don't want to be in charge of anything other than what comes out of my body. And I don't want to be ruled by anyone other than if I'm to be ruled, it ain't by your guys' standard because, look, you guys suck at doing just about everything that should be easy. It's like, in all honesty, there are some people who do have a firm understanding of right and wrong, and it should be. There should be no such thing as people not knowing what is right and wrong in a position of alleged authority or power over other human beings. Uh, let's just get this out. Females, I can't. What on earth are females doing littered within your guys' construct? The shit doesn't even. It doesn't make any sense. I could see, like, in the element of, you have a family, right? And you might have rivalry with somebody or somebody, I guess. Maybe you'll have a rivalry. Y'all better figure it out. But it's like this whole thing, whereas I've never felt so damn disrespected than other than outside of females are fucking just, they're not adequate. They're just simply not adequate. They're not. They're not adequate for to be making judgments and verdicts. Males have, for the most part, have a better understanding than the females do, and that's fucking depressing. How is it in this planet that there are, sure, there's men that have a better understanding of what's right and what's wrong versus females, and the issue that I'm having is that these females, along with these minorities, I don't care. I don't care. This is the issue that I've been having in this planet. This is what I've been witnessing as a problem my whole entire life. My whole entire life. Whole entire life. And the fact that it goes on. And then the women or girls are always being blamed. And the alleged solution that is advised to counter these issues, these crimes really, are inefficient. We're being told things like, leave the criminal with our children and just walk away. What type of alleged maternal instinct is that? What type of advice is that? Leave your children or leave your one product of rape with the one who rapes you and walk away. You guys, if you're married to these women, I don't know what to say, but okay. You guys are disgusting in this planet. I cannot stand you. This is why I don't come out. This is why I don't associate with people. This is why I don't want or need friends. I don't look for friends. I don't look for a companion. I don't look for no husband. I don't look for nothing because I just don't like people because they're so far gone. I mean, the most simplest of things. It should be like easy as one, two, three, but apparently not. This is why I cannot have any type of connection with any alleged human being because I feel like I'm on a lonely fucking island because people's interpretation of what of what is right and what is wrong, what is the intelligent thing to do versus I can't. And then folks is alleging or believing or convinced that they're superior. And I'm baffled by this. I'm baffled. I'm blown away that alleged superior people. You know what I think it truly is? I think that a lot of females, especially, you guys take credit for that of which you're not entitled to be taking credit for or of. And a lot of females, they not only do they miss the point, as well as they benefit off of this ability to, I guess, can y'all men really being manipulated? Really? I don't think you're manipulated. I think you're probably just weak. What has been going on in this planet basically is this false notion in which the women of substance are sacrificed, and then the men of substance are sacrificed on the behalf of the weakness of both male and female, and the loser alliance. That's what I'm going to call them, the alliance of losers. And they've been winning, all right, but their wins are only their wins are a source of loss, and it just keeps degrading the genetics, the intellect, the ability, the talents, the creativity, and fewer people that even get the room to truly flourish. They have to basically fight just to be able to do what everybody wants to be so enthusiastically involved with knowing. Okay? Folks who want to have, not only do they have the alliance of losers, they have a very stiff erection. They're very intrigued by being destructive to those who are constructive, all the while then feeling entitled to reap benefit off of that of which their stupid asses had nothing to do with its creation. And if they did, on the behalf of them being a criminal, or usually what they'll do to get themselves involved in the business affairs of which they have no right or entitlement to be involved with or to, they basically spring their genetic grouping with the ones who they have no business being next to or in proximity to. And on behalf of this falsely prescribed alleged ethnic supremacy, in which the supremacy only extends really to the men, okay, of said group who have been carrying these very questionable females. And I know that they're questionable because I ain't heard not nan one of them speaking up about shit. Because she should. With great pride, she should be. Why isn't she? Why am I not looking like the one who can be making these statements? Why hasn't she been saying this? Why? Because it goes against the whole grain of this entitlement mentality. It's an entitlement. I'm not willing to sacrifice anything for you. Oh, well, you're not sacrificing it for me. You should be sacrificing it for what is right. Because if you truly were a spouse or a sister or a mother or an auntie or a friend to those of which you're adjacent to and you're a representative of, why in the fuck ain't you saying what I'm saying, if not better, more eloquently? How come you can't articulate it? You're entitled to. Don't you have more of a right to say these things? As a white woman, don't you? How come you haven't? You've had plenty of opportunities to do so. This world looks this way because you're being awfully quiet. Why? Don't you love him? Isn't that your son? Isn't that your brother? Your father? Your uncle? Your neighbor? Why aren't you saying these things? Why am I saying them? You don't care. You simply don't care. For all of these other groups, I wouldn't give a fuck if they were saying, well, you notice how they're not saying. Not one of them. And the reasons why, probably because they're intelligent enough to know, well, I'm not going to be advocating for the representative of the group that I'm associated with technically, even if I'm married or not married to the white men, because I would never advocate for that because I don't have the backbone to say what needs to be said, even though I can enjoy the benefit, even though oftentimes I'm found to be guilty of throwing him under the bus and disparaging him, but still nonetheless benefiting off of his contributions. And nobody's willing or able to humble themselves to say what need be said for and to seriously sacrifice this arrogance and sacrifice the pandering to these males of said groups that ain't supposed to be here. They're not supposed to be here. They are not supposed to be here. And you fuckers in this planet that have endangered our children for acquiescing to what you should know better. You're okay with us going through it. Going through genocide. Going through genocide. And finding a way to condone it. But I ain't heard you said not a single word. Nothing I've heard you ever. I've never heard you speak up. Not once. And that's a damn shame. Because you know full good and well that you should not ever be okay with allowing a lie to stay around and sacrificing not just your sons, your brothers, your uncles, your fathers, your relatives, your neighbors, those that you, I guess you could say, are important to you. So I think I'm shrugging my shoulders at this point. I don't know. Because if you're claiming that these other ones have a right to be around all of us, you go live with them and go be with them. I don't want nothing to do with them. I'm not afraid to say that. I don't care look, if there was a room full of them, I don't like them. I would hate to be in that situation. But for those of you that have been luxuriously privileged to hide behind this anonymous wall, and you have your protections in place, and you still don't say what need be said. And even when you do, you still find a way to blame children and women. You still find a way to blame the children and the women that don't want nothing to do with this. But you've been so at ease and reluctant and appeased, I suppose. I got what I needed, so I'm not going to do what I need to do in order to make some things move a little bit quicker, if at all. When have you guys ever in this planet had enough of a backbone to say, hey, we don't like these ones here? We're going through hell because of this, and we're tired of it? How come none of you have said that? How come it's always been this, we have to keep this bullshit up and these lies glued together, basically, that go, well, we are superior and we're enjoying the benefits. No. He is. I don't know why people are trying to keep taking credit for him. Nobody has a right to be taking credit for him. Except for him. Nobody. So why on earth is everyone okay with being able to be with who they want to be with, associate who they want to be with, do business with who they want, knowing full good and well that by doing so you're endangering children's lives? And then you want to deflect by throwing him under the bus. The unicorns that you can find from him, who are still a fucking goddamn whole worlds apart better than what the fuck is going on in all reality. You want to keep on deluding yourselves and pretending like it's an isolated event. No, it ain't. I don't trust them. I don't like them. Yeah, I know everybody's listening. Yeah, and I know you're watching. I know you've been watching. I know you all this shit that's been going on, and ain't nan one of y'all did anything about it to try and stop it. Why is this occurring? Because you're okay with sacrificing people in order to. It's not going to fix the problem. They're not going to stop doing this. What do you think is going to happen once we're gone? If and they're still here. Fuck you. Because you guys have allowed your fears and your needs to be, I don't want to confront. You should. But at the same time, you have no business, and you guys had no business, fueling this big lie that basically restricts him from being who he wants to be with, or who she wants to be with. Instead, you've been okay with this narrative of stick to your own. That's just hilarious, isn't it? When did that rule get enacted? We want to choose a timestamp when we can enact the stick to your own rule. Never mind just stick to your own. How about whatever happened to consent and natural attraction? Whatever happened to that? Whatever happened to that? Or is it only because his erection? So therefore, you're existing, and therefore it's perfectly okay. Even though these things are written out in the statutes that these things are illegal, we're just going to disregard that, ignore it, and let's continue on. And let's even uphold and insert this ideology of this shit being legitimate. The Old or the New Testament. No testament has been made. You know full good and well that we have no fucking culpability when we're children. What these criminals have done is a crime, and the fact that they're allowed to represent a church and they've been doing this is not new. And you're okay with allowing your daughters or someone else's daughters to be raped all over the planet to keep this construct this way. If you fucking loved him, which you don't, how come you haven't used your fucking mouths to say what needs to be said? It should not matter what ethnicity a woman has. She's not entitled to be your slave, that is, unless she's actually a criminal. A true criminal, though. Not a fabricated, let's go ahead and demonize something that is actually quite natural and law-abiding. You mean to tell me you're more concerned about someone self-medicating the responsible way versus somebody who's out here raping 13-year-olds, leaving them with kids, making multiple children with only God knows how many other women and girls, incest, absconding from their responsibility, allowing someone else to pick up the slack for where they can't be responsible for, and two, as someone who had the audacity to create said children, doing nothing, no types of contribution here, there, anywhere that they go. And they do this, creating liabilities everywhere that they go, and somehow finding out, using this excuse of some type of alleged injustice. Well, then they should have stayed where they came from. And okay, if they're going through racism, well, then that just means that you're not the man enough to resolve the issue of alleged racism. Then that means that you ain't supposed to be having children. That's irresponsible. Hold people accountable. Hold the correct people accountable. These children having to be sacrificed and abused and tormented because people can't get their shit together. So then the children have to pay and be sold and trafficked and be enslaved, every last one of them. There's no fucking goddamn sort of bigotry involved with this enslavement of children and the extorting of men's resources and time and energy and lives on the behalf of those who refuse, are underqualified, and are not worthy of being fathers. Very simple issue that has not been resolved because nobody wants to, first of all, acknowledge it entirely for what it is. Instead, let's just go ahead and abuse the children, endanger the women that really honestly are not what they're showing up as. And yeah, how they look is not what they started off as. It didn't matter. But as a woman versus a man should not, if he's a man who everyone's codependent upon, don't you see a problem with that? Oh, you have a problem. You have a problem with every woman having a father for children that she creates, but you don't have a problem with children that are basically fatherless. Pretty fucking selfish to me. It could not be my son, couldn't be my father, couldn't be my husband, couldn't be my brother, couldn't be my uncle, couldn't be my friend, my neighbor, my colleague, my coworker. It couldn't be, because I would have enough of a backbone to go, look, I don't care about the ethnicity. I just want to know that you're actually with someone that is compatible and for you and respects you and you respect her, and that you have children, decent children that are willing to, that you're willing to invest into your children all that you can for them, because that should have been more precious to you than this idea of this construct. And it's fucking pathetic, because you guys could have solved this problem a long time ago. You could have had a healthy competitor. But no, we must sacrifice blood. We must do all these fucking irresponsible things because it's qualified, because we don't want to sacrifice that of which is driving us fucking insane. And we want to pretend like those things, which are the only things of value around here, are the reasons why we're going through what we're going through. Shame. Sacrificing those who are upstanding human beings because we don't want to ruffle some feathers around here and tell this motherfucker, no, we don't want that shit around us. And it's racism to keep our mouths real shut, closed, and pretend like you don't know what I'm talking about. Fuck you. On your songs. You ain't heard the songs before? Go listen to them. Go look it up, Big Pimpin'. When the Pimps in the Crib mod, drop it like it's hot. You guys go listen. I'm the one that you guys were okay. We are the ones that you guys were okay. We are the ones that you guys are okay. Even those of you who, I guess, look like this, something like this. You look like this. And you have the audacity, oop, you didn't go through that, but let's go ahead and skip. Thanks. Thanks for embracing that for us. Shame. Trying to fucking be a participant of this delusion. Hell no. Well, we don't know what to do now. Do something, bitch. Why are they still here? Let's start there. Why are they still here? Why? I don't see the. You know what? Here's how I think about it. They're not willing to turn themselves in to be disposed of or to be locked up or something. So then, and when it comes, however it comes, whatever way that it comes, why should you be spared? Why should your life ever be spared? Why? Why? Why would your lives be spared? You didn't fucking take the opportunity to open up your mouth to make no confessions. You didn't take your asses to the designated areas to be booked and detained like others have. They deserve to be spared. That's why I like Asians. That's why I really like them, because you know what? At least they did crime and he didn't try to run. He said, I'm gonna go turn myself in. I'll just go turn myself in because what I did was wrong. There's no I can respect that. His life deserves to be spared. You damn right. He deserves to make a family. Those are the types of people those are the men that deserve to make children. You understand? They had enough sense to be like, I'm not going to run from this. I'm just going to go do what I need to do and deal with it. Because what I did was wrong. That's how you're supposed to handle something like that. In the meantime, these other ones that are still sitting around us, it's a crime. You don't see these things as crimes. It is a crime having children. And allegedly, there could be no possible claim of you're going through a racist institution. No, there's no such thing. What racist institution? If that's the case, why are you having sex with somebody who allegedly makes those brand of babies? And why are those babies born? If you can't protect them from a racist institution, there should be no reason as to why those children are impoverished or being abused. There's no excuse for that. Do you understand that or no? There is no such excuse as not everyone can be rich or not. What does that mean, rich? You mean to tell me that that before there was ever a dollar printed that the children couldn't survive or something? No. Before there was money, there was a way of life. It's just that people don't want to. They don't want to do, you guys don't want to do what's required. Well, I did. And guess what happened? What'd you guys do? You destroyed my crops. Yeah, I'm pissed off about that shit because it was a waste of time. How dare you? You know, I wanted to have my own fucking food supply since I couldn't depend on you guys to do anything ethically. You couldn't incarcerate people for their crimes. I couldn't get none of my money back that I invested into doing this. And then you guys had the audacity to waste my fucking time and want me to work for your corporation and all that shit. Fuck you. You couldn't be fucking husbands. You had to be whores. You had to degrade us, didn't you? Because you were so entitled to that. You were entitled to be a pedophile with no fucking consequence. Never mind the damage that it's done to me. You can't fix it. You're not addressed as a man or a woman by me. Nothing got fixed. You're not a man. You're not a woman. You're not even authority. I don't know what. You're a thing. And I see through you. You're invisible. I don't see anyone.